Welcome back, and this is it. Today is the day Overwatch League returns. So we have 4 matches today. Gonna be 4 matches for each day in this week, and we got some great ones today. You can see them on the screen right there. Philly Fusion versus London Spitfire, New York Excel versus Boston Uprising, Seoul Dynasty against LA Gladiators, and then the Shanghai Dragons taking on the Hangzhou Spark. One little bit of Overwatch news that's crazy that I missed. It happened, I believe, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it was late 2 days ago. The Boston Uprising traded Gamsu, their main tank, to the Shanghai Dragons. The Shanghai Dragons have just one main tank, Fearless, but he is in Korea right now because of health issues. Not sure exactly what's going on, but he's there for his own health, and so they were left with a main tank, and they were able to make a trade for Gamsu. It's crazy. I think this definitely pushes Boston even farther down. I mean, I think with Striker Gun, he's their best player. So that's some crazy news. Won't talk about it too much, but just so you guys know that we'll tap unless if you missed it. So we're gonna do what we did last year. We're just gonna roll through the maps for each matchup, and I'm going to predict the winners. Also, this season, I'm gonna try to do a better job of having a running count of my record. I don't know if you guys care about that at all, but I think it makes it a little more interesting. Alright, so it's the rematch, Grand Finals. Philly Fusion, London Spitfire. Two heavyweights, should both be very good this season. The maps, they're starting on Ilios. So, on this map, I like the Spitfire in this one. You could say if Philly's going to come out with like revenge in mind for the finals, but I do believe London is a better team right now, and even though Carpe is definitely a carry, or maybe the carry for the league, Spitfire has multiple carry players, and I think if this is going to give them the edge over Philly in a control map where maybe we don't see as much goats, and maybe people get to shine a little bit more on these control points. So we'll see. I think it's going to be back and forth, but I like London on that one. Going to map 2, it's Hollywood. Now Hollywood, of course, is a hybrid. This one, I think Philly will bring it back and tie it up 1-1. One, because I think these teams are pretty close matched. I don't think one will jump out to an early lead, an early like 2-0 or 3-0. It could happen, but I think that they're going to be battling back and forth. I mean, in Hollywood, Widow hasn't been used much at all, but this is a map where she could potentially show up. Otherwise, it's goats. And I honestly like Philly more than London in terms of goats. I think that their roster is a little more tailor-made for it. So I think they'll take map 2. Going on to 3 is Volskaya. I got London on that one. Philly was pretty bad on 2 CP assault maps pretty much all of last season, and I think that that's going to carry over a little bit. I think they played that map in the Grand Finals, and London won on it. So I'm going to go with London on that one. And then going to Rialto, a map that wasn't even available. I think it came out stage 4 of Overwatch League, and then they didn't even make it available to be played on, if I remember correctly. So, Rialto. A very defensive map. It is. I personally don't like it as an escort map, but I don't think Philly will be able to push it to a map 5. I think London is going to wrap it up here with a 3-1 victory. Mostly because I like London's Orisa play a lot, and there's a possibility of seeing Orisa on this map. And then in terms of goats, I think that if they do run goats, they'll probably have been running it since game 2. And though I think Philly has the advantage right away, I think that London, in the end, will kind of wear them down. And just, essentially, they're just a little bit of a better team overall. And it's going to, as the series goes on, I think it's going to be a little more and more apparent. Like the small gap is going to get a little bit wider. and London is going to take this one 3-1. Second matchup of the day is the Boston New York rivalry. You got, of course, the Excelsior and the Uprising for the number 1 team for Excelsior and the number 3 team in the regular season for Boston. But Excelsior lost in their first matchup in the semifinals, and Boston lost to Philly in their first round matchup. So teams that had great regular seasons, but their postseasons were not what they wanted to accomplish. The maps that they're going to be on are Nepal, Numbani, Horizon Lunar Colony, and then Route 66. So it's a completely different set than Philly, London, which I honestly like. I like having the large differences from match to match. So if you're watching all the matches, it feels more unique. So this one, I'm going to say it's a 4-0. Before, if Boston still had Hangzhou, I might think, oh, they might take a map. I think it's a 4-0. I don't know what Boston's doing. Apparently, like, if they make this team work and like make the playoffs and do really well, then they're like the fucking gods of scouting. They're like the best, and like there's no question. They're the gods of scouting and finding hidden talent, because they did it last season. I just don't think they'll be able to do it again, especially since Overwatch League is going to be a lot different this year. I think the skill cap is going to be higher. And yeah, losing your main tank like that, like 2 days before the season starts, I don't think they're ready for this. I think New York is going to smoke them 4-0. The third matchup, LA Gladiators versus Seoul Dynasty. So, maps are Ilios, Kings Row, Horizon Lunar Colony, and then Route 66. So, in this one, I actually don't know the tiebreaker this year. I'm not sure what they decided on, or for this stage, I should say. I don't know what control map it is, but I envision this one going 2-5. I think Seoul will take map 1 on Ilios. Gladiators, they do have some good picks for Ilios, but they've never performed the best on it. And I think maybe with like Roar having his first time on stage, maybe they'll get off to a tad bit of a slow start. I think Seoul is going to come out really motivated, and they're going to take map 1, but then Gladiators will pull back maps 2 and 3. They played well on Horizon all last year. Also, Kings Row is a good map for them. I think that I want to say that they would have an advantage over Seoul in terms of GOATs, but Zarya play worries me a little bit with the Gladiators. But I think they will definitely take those second 2 maps. And then Escort, never been a good map type for them. It's been a good one for Seoul. I think they're going to tie it up and send it to a 5th map. And then whether because it's either going to be Busan or Lijiang or Oasis or Nepal. And the Gladiators were very strong on control maps as a whole last year. Ilios is probably their worst one. Ilios or maybe Oasis, but they were very good on Lijiang. They were very good on Nepal. And I think that that's going to show, and they're going to, even though they lost map 1, which was controlled, they're going to win the series 3-2. It's going to be really close, back and forth. I could see a lot of good plays coming out here. Fissure might be a little bit of a revenge tour for him. It's a former team. But I wouldn't say it's like last year with London, because London just kind of benched Fissure and then just like kind of dumped him. The Gladiators played him a ton, but he just didn't really want to be there at the end of the season. So, like I said, back and forth, 2 very good teams that I believe will both be in the playoffs, or at least in the playoff picture. But Gladiators are going to take this early season matchup 3-2. Then, the last matchup of the day, Shanghai Dragons, Hangzhou Spark. Will Shanghai get their first official win right away? The answer is no. I like Hangzhou in this matchup. With Shanghai having, if Fearless was there, this would probably be a different story for me. Gamsu is going to help them a lot, but he did just come over. There's going to be coordination issues. At least I believe there will be a little bit of coordination issues. And in GOATs, when people are running a lot of GOATS comp, it's not as much about mechanics, as you guys probably know. It's more about team communication and coordination. And will this come through for them? I don't think it will right away. Hangzhou's been obviously practicing ever since they were brought together. And just having a new main tank, I just don't see the Dragons being able to overcome that. I think they're a good team, but Hangzhou is also a good team, and that's why they'll have a slight edge. The maps for this one are Busan, Hollywood, Horizon Lunar Colony, and then Rialto. So a little bit of carryover. I guess that means that the fifth control map is not going to be Busan either. So, like I said, you got Gamsu coming in. The Spark a lot of people are very, very high on the Spark. In my power rankings, I had them a bit lower. They were like 12. But Shanghai was 11. And like I said, the Spark they have the advantage because they're going to have a lot better chemistry. And map-wise, I think they'll take it 3-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Shanghai pulled out either Busan or Horizon. The reason being, like Busan, there's more of a chance for individuals to kind of pop off and carry. And I think that that's definitely a possibility because they are a very, very solid team. And then on Lunar Colony as well, if like that's a kind of map where one team can get full held, like I don't want to say easily, but it can just like happen. Things can kind of spiral. Maybe the Dragons win point A, and then they have a lot of carryover, and they snowball onto B and take it fast. That's a way that they could take a map like that. But I don't think they'll win on Hybrid or Escort. And I think that Hangzhou, as the first expansion team to play, will pick up the first win of the year. Shanghai, I think you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think all of these matches, except for the second one, could go either way. I wouldn't be super shocked like if the Dynasty beat the Gladiators or if Shanghai beat Hangzhou. But I think that they just have a slight edge. All three of those teams, they have a slight edge, which will propel them over the top. So we got just under 6 hours for me until the first match. It's going to be great. I hope you guys watch. And then tomorrow we'll probably have another stream of actual gameplay. Last time I played, I lost 6 in a row. I've since won a couple, and redeemed it a little bit. But yeah, look forward to that. Tune in if you can. Thank you so very much for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.